Good afternoon. I am Sierra Redfield, a Technical Assistance Manager here at JBS International. JBS International has been contracted as the technical assistance provider for all of SAMHSA CJ grants. I will be with you all for the next 45 minutes or so to conduct the IE webinar. Please make sure that you are on mute and that you use the chat feature to type any questions that you may have. We will have an opportunity to answer questions at the end of the webinar. We will now go to About Ideas Exchange. Ideas Exchange is an online collaborative community where you can access resources, network with your fellow grantees, learn from one another, and work together to solve problems. The site is designed to meet your unique needs while taking into account collaborative opportunities and best practices across all program areas. Some sections of the portal may be of interest to specific program areas, while other sections, including resources, may be of interest to all. The site also provides a platform for you, your fellow grantees, and government project officers to communicate effectively and efficiently with one another, both within and across program areas. This resource encourages sharing and cross-fertilization of innovative ideas, approaches, and evidence-based practices. The purpose of Ideas Exchange is to support and strengthen your organization, help you serve your clients, and share your experiences and lessons learned with others. Ultimately, the portal draws strength from your active participation in this evolving community. We hope you find Ideas Exchange to be a useful and valuable mechanism for supporting the work you do with your clients. At the bottom on this page, where it says About Using the IE, here are user guides that help you navigate through the site. Each user guide is a step-by-step PDF which will assist you if you have any questions if you ever get lost on how to navigate the site. Today, I will cover Add a Resource, Discussions, and Search the Library. We will now go to the top of this page and go to My IE, and go to Profile. This is what you will see when you will log in. This is my activity stream, and here I can do several activities, including post an event, edit my profile, and view updates from my program area. You should have received an email from JBS with the subject line of CJ Training, register for the Ideas Exchange and Learning Management System as an invitation. We will now go to Edit My Profile. Please note that the profile may take a while to load and save because it's pulled directly from the database. As I go to my profile, you can see that my full name is listed, my email address, JBS address, as well as my phone number. You will also find my picture, which you can download onto your computer and browse and save to your profile. You also see that you can identify your time zone. You will want to change your project role from JBS staff to one that is applicable to you, and do so here. After you have completed your profile, you will want to review the terms and conditions and then accept, and then save. In order to register, you will need your program area, cohort, grantee name, which was provided in your email invitation. You will need the role within the grant to register. You can only register with the email address provided to SAMHSA. I will scroll back up here. It's important to note that any grant staff member can have access to IE. You will need to contact Sarah Gotcha, which is the Criminal Justice Team Lead for Ideas Exchange. You will need to send the cohort TI number, grantee name, their name, email address, enroll within the grant to her email address at sgottschall@jbsinternational.com. I will later show you her contact information for you to copy and save for later. Okay, now we're going to move to Discover Criminal Justice. This is CJ's program area page. Criminal Justice is responsible for coordination of multiple criminal justice program grantees. These grantee programs include Adult Treatment Drug Courts, Juvenile Treatment Drug Courts, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Joint Initiative with the Bureau of Justice Assistance, Juvenile Offender Reentry Programs, and Offender Reentry Programs for adult offenders. Here on this page, you can find the spotlight, which often changes. Here we're highlighting the opioid epidemic, but sometimes we also have modules here as well. You can also find announcements, upcoming events, recommended resources, and related resources. At the top, you will also find that you can post an event, share a resource, as well as start a discussion. We will first post an event. On this page, you will want to give a short title for what the event is. So for an example, we're doing the Ideas Exchange webinar. You can put that there, and then you will want to click the type of event that it is. So we have it listed here, and it's webinar. And then you will click your program area, which is criminal justice, and then you will want to add your brief description. So I'll say Ideas Exchange is an, online tool for all SAMHSA funded grantees. And you can make this as long as you need to. I will then go to the bottom and add my event date. So today's the 23rd. I will say, let's say tomorrow. And then I would like to change the time. Please keep in mind that you can either use the keypad, the up and down keys, or you can type it in. So 04, I want to do 04, I can do that. If I want to do 05, I can do that as well. And the minute section, it goes by increment of 15. So you will want to do it with the up and down key as well. And the same thing for AM and PM. (6:15), the time it will end. And you can change the time zone. And if by chance you actually were not doing a webinar, you had an event that was in person, you will want to put the company's information here, their address, city, state, and zip code. You also have the opportunity to add relevant files, including a URL, an agenda or PowerPoint slides, or a summary of the event that you're going to conduct. You can upload them here. Okay? As you scroll down, you will see our preview button, which I will now click. And this will let you see what exactly is going to be posted once you save it. So you'll see that everything is yellow here, which I have edited, and the day it was submitted, and things of that nature. And if you find everything is to your liking, you can just go down next to the preview button and save it. Save it there. Okay? Moving on, we're going to do a resource. As you scroll up, It is right next to post an event. You will share a resource. And sharing a resource is very similar to posting an event. You will want to give your title again. Click your program area and give your title. Your description. And as you can see here, there are several types of resources that you can add to this post. You can add a document. You can add an image. You can add a video, as well as a URL link. So as you can see, as I click those, they populated at the bottom. And if you only wanted to add 1 or 2 or 3, you can do so. So today I'm going to say I want to add a document and a video. And that is there. And I will simply browse my computer to upload my document, and it shows you here what type of resources or files are allowed. And if I want to add my URL link, it has to be pulled directly from YouTube first prior to being posted to our Days Exchange. And once I'm done adding my resources, I will want to go down and click the most appropriate copyright. So since it is usually public information, since we have access to it, it is most likely the first acknowledgement, which is to my acknowledge the document is public domain and no copyright issues apply. So then if that is the correct one, you would then review, and then after reviewing, you will save. All right, now we're going to go back up to discussion. We're going to start a discussion. So here on this page, you have the opportunity to pick your topic of discussion. There are several options here, and if by chance the option that you're discussing is not here, you can click Other. Again, my program area is Criminal Justice. I would do my title of my discussion, and I will put this discussion content here. So say if I had a question or I had an idea and wanted feedback, I can pose those ideas and questions here and allow for other grantees and members to have a discussion and give me their feedback here, okay? And you will want to do the same thing as we discussed earlier. You will want to preview and then save, just to make sure that your content is correct. All right. Now, just to keep in mind, IE user discussions and comments from the previous JBS contract are important to retain and remain on IE, despite whether the user is active or is no longer a part of the grant. So this means that the discussion and comments will remain on IE even if you are no longer funded through SAMHSA, active, or no longer a part of the program that you are currently involved in. So I head back up to the top, and I'm going to find a resource, and I'm going to go to the resource library. Here on this page, you can see that I have the opportunity to search for resources by keyword here, by program area, and resource type. I also have the option to browse by special topics. Okay, so for an example, I'm going to type in drug court, and my program area is criminal justice, and I want my resource type to be, let's say, e-learning. And I apply these tags and settings. And as you can see here, it populated all the resources for drug court, for the program criminal justice, and the resource tag e-learning. So I'll click this resource here. And it shows you when it was submitted, gives you all the information. It also gives you the direct web link here, the resource type, as well as relevant and relatable tags to this article. So criminal justice, capacity building, reducing recidivism, drug courts, and teen courts. It also shows you how many individuals read this resource. If you wanted to add it to a bookmark, add it to a bookmark, meaning that it will be up on your activity stream that I previously showed you. If by chance you found that this resource was inappropriate, you can flag it and JBS will follow up on it. And if you simply like the article and the resource, you can do that as well. At the bottom here, it gives you an opportunity to add a comment to the resource. So you will type in your comment here and then save it, and it will be posted. Okay, so now we're going to move up to the top. We're going to find resources again and go to Grantee Journey Map. Journey Map is designed to assist individuals and grantees throughout the life of their grant. There are 4 stages, which are highlighted at the bottom of this page. The 4 stages are orientation, implementation, reflection, and sustainability. Sustainability is particularly important because you want to ensure that your grant continues to thrive after your grant ends. You can go there. There's a button here to help you to plan for sustainability. Today, we will go through the orientation phase. At the top on the right, you will find quick links to help you navigate through the site faster. You have the orientation, which highlights some of their pertinent tabs here, implementation, reflection point, and sustainability as well. Just to keep in mind, today I will go to create a work plan, but if you wanted to go down further down the page, I will show you now. Create a work plan is also here. Start your work plan. The work plan is at the bottom on the right, that I discussed, right here. The work plan is very useful and can be used as a checklist for goals. You can add it to your liking, move the task up and down, and or remove. You can also add items to your checklist. So I'll show you how to do that now. So you will simply click Edit this checklist. And as I previously stated, there are arrows here on the left-hand side that you can drag to your order to your preference. And on the right side, you have the option to delete them if you do not feel that the item on the list was suitable for your grant, did not apply to you. You can have the option to do so as well. You also have the option to revise or edit these items on the list. So I want to edit, review and revise year 1 budget as needed, and I will simply type in notify/request approval from GPO and GMS as needed. And it will save once I save it. And if I wanted to add an item that was not on the list and I thought it was great and I wanted to add as a goal for my grant program, I can do that as well. So I will write communicate significant implementation issues or barriers to GPO and GMS. Okay, and I will just click Save. And as you can see, the first one has been added, and the item that I did not find on the list at first, and I wanted to add it, it has now been added to my checklist. You can also share this with your grant members by creating it as a PDF and printing it. I will show you how to do that now. You will simply want to go to Save and Return to Checklist. And then you will scroll back down to where we once were, and you will click View All Checklists. So before we do that, say if you had completed some of these goals, you can do that. You can check these boxes here, and they will save. And if you did not complete them, you can uncheck them, or you want to delete them, or whatever is best for you, you can do that here. So you will view all checklists to create the PDF file. And as this right here, it says download PDF. It will populate, and here it is. And you can print this out and save with your team members and check things off as you see fit. Okay? At any time, you can restore your checklist to the default settings, which I will also show you how to do. So simply, you will go back to that same checklist. You will say, edit this checklist. And you want to restore your default settings, so you will say, restore the default items for this checklist. And this cannot be undone, so please make sure that once you restore to your default settings, it's something that you actually want to do. So I'm going to restore, and there it is. Things are back to as they once were. Okay? Now, this tool is for you and your program. It is not going to be shared with JBS or your GPO. It is simply a tool for you. Heading back over to Find Resources, scroll down to Announcements. Here are several announcements. Okay, and you can search for announcements by keyword, program area, the date, as well as the type of resource, and by conditions, disorders, population groups, and other tags here. Okay? Announcements will not be saved to your profile and is not reported or shared with JBS or your GPO. You can post things that will not be shared through IE, but you will not have a username assigned to them. So, for an example, I will click this resource here, this announcement here. And as you can see, and a user is not attributed to this announcement. The only time a user will be attributed to the announcement is when they comment on the announcement. That's when it will appear. All right? Moving on, we will go back up. Find Resources. news. JBS subscribes to a number of RSS feeds and around behavioral health that you can browse in chronological order. You can search by keyword right here in this toolbar, related resources, or resource type. Okay? For example, I will search opioid. And here's all the news for opioid. And they're in chronological order. Heading back up to find resources, I will go to Health Care Reform Toolkit. Here you will find resources and online training modules around the Healthcare Reform Toolkit. They are located on the right here. All right? Heading back up, connect. As you can see, you have the option to find a person or a grantee organization. I will start with Find Grantee Organization. I will click my program area, Criminal Justice, search. All right, there it goes. And as you can see, there are several CJ grantees. And on the left-hand side, you will see that they have the grant number, the grantee organization, the project, the program area, cohort, as well as the state. So say if I wanted to narrow down my grantee options by cohort, I have the opportunity to do that here. So I'll say I want to narrow them down to 2017 ORP, and they populated here. And if I wanted to narrow down by state, I also have that option to do so. Again, it is on the left-hand side, you see the grantee number, the grant organization, project, program area, cohort, and state. If you wanted to get more information on the grantee, you would simply just click on the hyperlink. So I'll say Centerstone of Indiana. And it's here are the information that we already spoke about. It gives you their active period, their address, as well as the program director's contact information. And if by chance information is not correct, you would simply want to email Sarah Godshaw, and I will show you her contact information now. We will go back to Connect, and we will type in Sarah. This tool can also be used to find your GPO and their contact information. So here are all the Sarahs in the CG program area, but I have been discussing Sarah Godshaw and her contact information for you all. If you had any questions or needed access to Object Exchange, you can do that here. So I'll give you all the opportunity to copy down this information. All right, now we will go back up to this toolbar here. And like as I stated earlier, you can use this resource to find your GPO. So I will search for Amy. And there is her contact information as well. All right, back up to Connect. we will go to events. Here you will see a list review of upcoming events, and there is also a calendar view. And it highlights upcoming events so that you all can better prepare your programs and your team for grantee meetings and things of that nature that is held by SAMHSA. In this section, you will also be able to post an event, including webinars, trainings, and meetings. As we did before, you can do that here on the left-hand side. Moving on to manage your grants, GIPRA information. To find more information about GIPRA and why it's important is here. You can also find information as well as a template for biannual reports in the section on the right-hand side. So you would simply want to click quarterly and biannual, reports, and click your program area. And here is a template and all the information that is needed for your biannual reports as you scroll down. At the bottom, there is the active periods and reporting periods of when you're supposed to do your biannual reports. And you have the opportunity to download the PDF format as well as the Word format so that you can enter your information. Okay, heading back up top, we will go home. And navigate over to Learning Management System. You will use the same username and login for Ideas Exchange to log into LMS. So you will use that same email address as you logged into for Ideas Exchange, as well as that same password. Please make sure that your cookies and pop-ups are enabled to retain your information, completion certificates, and your course progress. As you see here, there are several DSI contracts, but we will head over to criminal justice. And as you scroll down, here are several trainings and modules for you all to complete. We have the trauma-informed approach, risk need responsibility simulation tool, partnership and linkage for offender reentry programs, as well as partnership and linkage for drug court programs. Now, these two are eligible for 2 CEUs upon completion. Okay, now I will head back to the main page, and we will head over to My IE, My Profile. On the right side of the screen, you will find a post to let us know if there is anything that you are looking for that is not currently on Ideas Exchange. Please take the time to complete this poll and cast your vote. Again, if you have any questions pertaining to access to Ideas Exchange or any questions that you may have later, please contact Sarah Godshaw. Thank you. This webinar has been recorded and we posted to IE once finalized for future viewing.